Hello, I'm David D. Cosbo. Welcome to Love the Arts Music here at the mall at Steamtown. I'm joined today by the proprietor, Phil Mancini. And Phil, what is life without music in everybody's life? And of all of the places where you can find any kind of music you want, specifically the instruments that produce that music, this is the place. What a great feeling it must be to be in this particular business, and I'm gathering this is not new with you.
No, it's not. We've been in business 28 years. Wow. Family owned, operated, my wife and I, and then a few of our employees now. Our daughter Amber is out in California, but we'll be back soon and hopefully back in the business with us.
So this is a lifelong love of music for you. You just kind of grew into it?
Yeah, I started playing when I was about 11 years old, and I'm a little older now, and I'm still playing, still enjoying music and running the shop here.
Well, everybody loves music, and I think we all wish that we were able to produce it ourselves. But really, how easy is that?
It's, you need a couple things. You have to have the desire and then the time. And that's, with our lessons, that's one of the things from our little guys and girls to our adult students is, time and desire. We have a lot of people that have the time to do it, and then the desire to do it, putting it in. It is work. There's no doubt about it. It is work. We try to make it as much fun as possible, all of our instructors here.
When people come in looking for to buy an instrument, perhaps start to learn how to play it here, I'm going to just guess, and it's not because the display is behind me, but I'm thinking guitars are like the number one thing people think of.
Yes, definitely. Guitars, ever since the Beatles, guitars have been the number one seller. The accordion used to be before that, organs, things like that, but now the guitar is definitely, and especially acoustic guitars. Right now the folk instruments are real popular, ukuleles, acoustic guitars, but as you see behind us, the electric guitars as well.
And there is a big difference in guitars. Now I date back to Duane Eddy, and of course a regular simple plain guitar, and trying to learn how to play it. In my case, I think my fingers proved to be just too sensitive. Yeah. But in any case, you see programs now like Pawn Stars on the History Channel, and people will bring in guitars, and the value on some of them is unbelievable. That may make people think that to come and start on a guitar, they're going to have thousands and thousands of dollars.
Not at all. Our guitars, brand new guitar with the lifetime warranty, ranges about $100. We're a dealer for one of the world's largest guitar manufacturers, Samick Music Company. So we have some fantastic deals on guitars to get started with. As well as you said, some of those more expensive guitars, we do have those, and hopefully we'll get some video of those later on of our collection.
Well, the more expensive ones tend to be the electric, the acoustical guitars,
yeah,
which came in around the days, I guess, of Les Paul and Mary Ford, those kind of things. What makes them special?
Special is that they are American made, is one thing that they are. And then the quality of the build, the woods that are used, the sound that they create, and there's some great American builders today as well. Those guitars are expensive, and that's something from our students that they work to get to one of those and treat yourself when you could afford one.
Sure. Now, when they come in, let's say they're a total novice. They get some sort of basic guitar. Let's start with the guitar family. How long does it take to learn some of the basics of playing a guitar?
Right from the very first lesson, you start learning notes, little ditties, little songs. What we encourage all of our students to do is make a top 10 list of songs that they would like to play. And as soon as we find a song that they can, our ability to play it, that we start on those songs. So a lot of the old folk songs, obviously, they're pretty much in all the lesson books these days. But any pop song that can be played that they listen to, sure. Yep, we get them playing and enjoying as soon as they can.
I get some people I know that can literally play by ear, and some of them say they cannot read a note of music. You may have people coming in that have trouble reading notes, but you can detect they've got some skill. Can you work with them?
Definitely, our students, and that's one of the things, that there has to be a happy medium of ear training, being able to play by ear, listening to something, and then being able to do it, as well as reading. Being musically literate is how I like to say it, so that you could open up a piece of sheet music, the abstract idea that a composer had, the best way that that composer has is putting it into sheet music so another musician could look at it and interpret that idea, and being musically literate, so opening up a piece of sheet music and being able to make music out of it. That piece of sheet music isn't music. It doesn't do a thing.
And once that music comes out, be it from notes or someone with the ability to play by ear, you can see a smile in the personality.
Oh, definitely, yeah. The joy of a student going to doing one of our talent nights or open mic nights, and then them coming off the stage and just seeing them grin ear to ear is fantastic. Especially the younger students, they really enjoy it.
You bring up something that is, I think, very unique to any musical retailer. You have your own stage here.
Yes, we do. In the back of our store, we do have a small stage and a sound system that we use for, again, talent nights that we have for our students, as well as some of our instructors on First Friday here in Scranton that'll get up and do their little thing. So
that's just such a plus. I don't want to have our audience believe that if they aren't interested in guitar, there's nothing here for them, because I've gone through this shop very briefly, and you've got just about anything that makes music. I'm going to guess again that the second most popular musical device, piano?
Yep, we have 4 top instruments: guitar, piano, voice, and violin. So guitar being number 1, piano being number 2, and small keyboards as well. You don't need an acoustic piano to start off with. A small keyboard works just as well. And voice and violin, the string family, very popular.
So here again, when it comes to piano, one might think they picture a baby grand somewhere, and we know they can be very, very expensive. But you're saying that it isn't necessary to have something that elaborate to begin to play piano.
No, not at all. Our best-selling keyboard is about $90. So yeah, and we do acoustic pianos as well, range from about $1,000, a little under $1,000, all the way on up to very expensive ones. But
and once you have learned how to play an instrument, whatever that musical instrument is, you have an ability that you can enjoy yourself and you can share it with others, really through the remainder of your life. To have a successful place, to have a successful staff here, people that care about those who are coming in to either purchase an instrument or learn how to play that instrument correctly, you've got to have some good people here. Yeah. What's the background on some of your staff?
Our staff, myself, I'm a graduate of Mansfield University in classical guitar. And professionally play, as I mentioned before. My wife, Kim, she does all the books. She likes to say she plays the radio. So our daughter, Amber, has gone through just about every instrument. She's right now into dulcimer and guitar, but she's played drums. Tony Sula, who's our sound engineer and one of the managers here, he has his degree from Full Sail University in recording engineering. So he runs our recording studio and as well as runs the shop here. Liz, one of our instructors, has a ton of experience in the music field. John Litwitsky is a local guitarist, one of our teachers. Eddie Apnell as well, a local musician here, very well known, doing his open mic nights as well as his own original stuff. So quite the diverse background.
Yes, absolutely. I don't want to skip over something you just mentioned, a recording studio.
Yes.
Anybody who plays an instrument at one time or another wants to make a recording. They probably dream of that going on to what I used to call vinyl, and now whatever format is apropos on this day. But how extensive is that? how hard is it to get something recorded, even if it's just to take home and have your own sample?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's not all that expensive to come in and to do one song, but we do everything from the graphic design to design your album to printing the CD to shrink wrapping it. So we could do it from beginning to end, literally. MP3 downloads that you could put on Amazon or iTunes, anything else. We have all that capability in our studio. The one thing I encourage most people who want to record is to really practice and know your song before you come into the studio. The studio isn't practice time, it's recording time, so that you know the song really well, that you have fun with the song. You come in, Tony sits down, sets you up, gets the sound that you want, and records it.
Have you had any success stories? Have you had someone who's walked in the door here, picked up an instrument and said, I want to learn how to play this instrument, and then either learned here or taken it somewhere and become part of a band?
Oh yeah, quite a few students who have gone on. Right now I'm into my about third generation of students myself, being in business 28 years. You know, and it makes me really just smile and such a good feeling that I see my former students come back in and tell me what they're doing, you know, and that they're playing still. It just, yeah. So the way I look at it is every student who walks out our store door with a smile on their face, that's a success story to us.
You mentioned string instruments too, and we think, we spoke of guitar of course, but I'm thinking now of something like the violin, that type of thing, which we generally associate more with a classical type presentation, although not necessarily. How popular is that?
Very popular. You know, we have a lot of young students now associated with a program up at Mary with their string program that we give private lessons as well. So we see that a lot of interest in strings in our area, which is fantastic, but not just on the classical side, as well as the pop music, the jazz music. Jean-Luc Ponte, a violinist, Lindsey Sterling out now and doing solo violin stuff. So it has expanded so much more than just a classical instrument, but it's still very popular in the classical.
And again, when we think of a violin, any aficionado thinks of, well, a Stradivarius, and it's going to cost me millions and millions of dollars, and routinely people don't buy those.
Right.
What is available in the way of violins? How much difference is between various types and styles?
Right. There's two real popular styles called the Guarneri, which is a shorter, fatter violin, a little bit fuller in sound, and then the Strad copy, which is a little bit longer and skinnier and a little bit brighter in sound. The Strad copy is the most popular for students. We do have them here. The nice outfit, when I say outfit, I mean the violin, the bow, the rosin, the case, everything you need to get started, runs about $170. And then they do get up there some of the more expensive quality student instruments can end up being $500–600, but you don't need to start with that.
And how about wind instruments? Things like the saxophone, things like the piccolo even, things like, are all of those things available here?
Everything's available here. Flutes, clarinets, saxophones, trombones, violin, viola, cello, basses. Yeah, we have a rental program for the school students as well as our own students. So if you wanted to go with a more better quality, better built instrument, but didn't have that much money to put down right at the beginning, you could do our rent-to-own program, which is a fantastic way to get into a better quality instrument and spread those payments out.
You do have performances here on occasion.
Yes.
How often? How does one get involved in that?
We try to do them once a month. Easiest way to get involved is to give the shop here a call or to shoot us off an email through our website, which is lovethearts.com.
Unfortunately, anyone with an instrument, whether they've purchased it from you or whether they've designed it themselves, eventually things wear out.
Yes.
Instruments we all own automobiles, and we know that occasionally something goes. And that can create some concern for anybody in the music industry, because they want to know that they can go somewhere and get it repaired, get it repaired professionally, and of course, obviously, as quickly as possible. Is that done here?
It is. We have two particular guys, and Tony Matty, who are our repair technicians, and we do everything from custom paint jobs, and again, hopefully we'll see some of those in the video that we'll get to show off a little bit later on, as well as simple as changing your strings. If you're not sure how to change your strings, or you're afraid you're going to break them because you've never done it before, we do that. As simple as changing your strings for you, even if it's just one. Bring it in and we can do it.
What do you get most personally out of serving the public in a business like this?
Oh, again, every student that we see that walks out with a smile on their face, it just makes us just so happy to see that we gave them or helped give them the gift of music, as well as from someone purchasing an instrument, someone saving up, a kid coming in and saving up all their money to get that particular guitar or that particular violin, the pink violin or the blue violin that they wanted. That, again, just makes us. And then for them to come back in and to trust us, that they keep coming back to us for that information, the knowledge that we have.
Phil, this location right here at the mall at Steamtown, really a nice looking store you have here. I'm wondering how it works for you.
Oh, the mall has been a fantastic move for us. We've been in here just a little over a year now. Started off, again, years ago, that we were in Duryea for a little bit. Then we moved into a place on Bernie Ave in Moosic. We were there for quite a few years. Moved to Old Forge. That's where our recording studio is and more teaching studios. Then we were in Pittston for about 5 or 6 years that we were there. Then the opportunity came for this mall, and the management team here has been super fantastic. I can't say enough about them. Helping us get the spot, get set up, do everything, the foot traffic that they bring in. We've just really enjoyed being here and look to be here for many, many years.
I see a lot of people walking by, and as we've been talking, kind of peeking in to see what's going on here. I guess you do see a lot of people that are just inquisitive, coming in to see what do you have.
Right. Well, again, when you look through our doors, you see pianos, you see guitars, you see violins, you see all the brass and woodwind instruments, you see the stage in the back. Yeah, we have a lot for everybody to kind of look and see. One of the nice things about being in the mall is not everyone does play music or think that they can, but everybody knows somebody that's into music or that plays guitar or violin or piano. So someone walking by saying, hey, I might not play, but my nephew, my niece, my brother, my sister, they play, and I got to tell them about this place. So they come in and grab one of our business cards.
From the standpoint of weather, the indoor environment must be very conducive to business.
Oh, it's fantastic. Air conditioning, heat, not worrying about walking in the rain. The parking, fantastic, yeah.
Phil, some people are so into their instrument that it literally becomes an extension of themselves. And in that regard, they like to customize their instruments. Now that's a special art, and I'm wondering if that's something you folks can handle.
Yes, we do. Again, with our custom work, we could do everything from electronics, custom electronics, so hand-wound pickups, custom plating. So again, hopefully we just brought in a guitar out of the shop that has bronze accents to it. So a lot of different things that we can do and are willing to do. Pretty much if you have an idea in your head of a guitar shape, a body shape, you bring that in, put it on the piece of paper. We could tell you if it's done, if it is possibly to be done. And most likely it is, just depends on how much money you have to spend on it, obviously. When it comes to our custom electronic works, from repair, again, amplifiers, keyboards, guitars themselves. If you want to spice up your guitar, we could do custom bindings on the side. We could build you an acoustic guitar. We could build you an electric guitar. You have a custom paint that you want, we could do custom paint work for you. So pretty much the sky's the limit when it comes to that. Again, the custom work, yeah, it's pretty neat. We have some really neat guitars that we've had published in some magazines, some art magazines. We've rebuilt, one of my favorite things I think that we've done in the custom shop is my toy piano from when I was a kid. Tony Matty, one of our custom guys, took the templates of all the old wood that kind of got really beat up over the years, cut all new wood, and we rebuilt that piano. So that was actually in an art magazine based out of New York City that was published, as well as some of our custom paint jobs. So some really neat stuff that we could do with the custom shop.
Oftentimes people who get involved with their instruments wind up in a band of some sort, whether it's in a school, whether it's a band that they take to a corner bistro weekends and things. What about the availability to repair band or orchestra type instruments?
Yeah, one of the things with wood instruments is cracks in wood. Violins, again, easily repaired here. We do all that kind of work. Saxophones, clarinets need to be repadded every so often. We can do that. One of the biggest things with any instrument as well is just basic maintenance, having it gone over by a technician to make sure it's playing, just like getting your oil changed, you know, making sure your car's running well. Same thing with your instrument, make sure that it's playing well. So what we call a basic setup, from a basic cleaning to, again, making sure all those pads are correct. If everything needs to be repadded and regulated. Again, oiled trumpet valves that need to be lapped. Yeah, everything.
Should an instrument owner bring the instrument in on, let's say, a yearly basis for a checkup, as it were?
Right, that's what we recommend is once a year have a basic overhaul done. That means cleaning the instrument, making sure that everything's aligned properly, guitar actions being set up, again, clarinet pads being where they need to be and not ripped or torn so that you don't have leaking notes. A lot of players come in and say, you know, I'm playing but it doesn't sound good, and sometimes we find out that, yeah, it's just a leaky pad. We just did a piccolo last week that girl couldn't play the lower end of any of the notes. It was as simple as finding that one pad was ripped, replacing that pad for her, and she's back playing today.
Well, Phil Mancini from Love the Arts Music, thank you so much for joining us. I'm David DeCosmo. I'm at the mall at Steamtown, and we'll see you here again soon.